I need you to be honest with me. Are you hitting blinkers on your vape pen? I literally thought it was only high schoolers in non-legal states smoking on pine resin out of Mario Karts, but apparently everybody's hitting blinkers. Are you hitting blinkers on your vape pen? Did you know that's literally the worst way to vape your oil in the pen? It's the worst way to do it. For those of you that don't know what a blinker is when you take a vape pen like this, a little cartridge pen with a battery, and whether it's button activated or pull activated, you hit it for the longest time it'll allow, usually about 8 to 10 seconds on most devices, and to prevent it from overheating, it'll auto off itself. It'll basically just blink and then it'll stop applying heat in the atomizer. Most people take the blinking as some sort of limit. Oh, that's when I'm supposed to end my hit. It's literally when it goes into safety mode, trying to prevent the device from damaging itself. These atomizers have metal in them that can break down when you apply too much heat to them constantly. If you're doing blinker after blinker after blinker back to back, there's a good chance that you're breaking down the metals in your vape pen and they're leaching into your oil. So the next time you hit it, you're vaping metals, which is bad for your brain. Doing constant blinkers on this will break down the metals so they leach into your blood-brain barrier. It's what most people do to try to get the biggest hit. They want the biggest cloud out of the vape. They want to pull it for 8 to 10 seconds and release a monster cloud, right? That's what you want. That's not how it should be. That's not how vaping works. That's how smoking weed works, not vaping oils. You're supposed to vaporize an oil at a lower temperature and do it for a longer period of time so you can vaporize it properly. Otherwise, it's just ruining the whole experience. Hitting blinker after blinker after blinker is like the equivalent of doing a glowy. It's like torching your nail red hot and just hitting it. And I personally have a ton of experience with blinkers. When I moved to Colorado years ago and first started getting vape pens from the dispensary, they weren't even half as good as they are now. Most of them were like vegetable glycerin or propylene glycol infused with distillate. So they weren't even like filled with cannabis oil like they are today. I used to get like 6 or 7 of those O-Pen pull activated pens, and I would literally pull 10 seconds, take a 1-second break, 10 seconds, and see how many blinkers in a row I could do on how many pens I could do. I used to do just stupid stoner stuff because like that's what you do when you're trying to get high. If I could take a time machine and go back in the past and slap myself in the face, I'd slap myself twice. Some pens do give instruction, but I've bought a lot of different devices before, and some of them just don't tell you what to do. You're really supposed to pull on this thing for like 2 or 3 seconds at a time. If it's pull activated or button activated, it's really like 2 or 3 seconds at a time. Give it a moment and you can do more and more. It's like light puffs over time and not one big rip. You're not supposed to do one big rip with your vape pen. Hitting it properly is not only safer for you, it's more efficient with your oil. You're gonna get way more uses. You're gonna get way more chances to get high if you're vaping this properly. Hitting it a few seconds at a time versus hitting it for 10 seconds back to back to back, you're just gonna burn straight through the oil. It's wild to me how far the technology has come along for vape pens, and they haven't really addressed this issue. I think a blinker on a pen should happen after 4 or 5 seconds. It should really do a better job of keeping you safe. Sure, they can improve on the technology and maybe make it not get as hot as it normally does, but if I'm able to press this button and get vapor instantly, that's hot. That shit is hot. You get vapor instantly on these. It takes my puff coat 20 seconds to heat up. When I cold start on this, it takes me about 20 seconds with the torch on this. These are giving you vapor instantly. Imagine how hot that is. It's not like it's staying at the temperature perfectly when you hold the button. It's just applying more and more. It's ramping up in a lot of cases. I really can only use these vape pens on the lowest setting, and I really only try to hit it for a few seconds at a time. Everything else is just too hot, too harsh on the throw, and it's just like the worst way to do it. But I did make a whole video on how most people dab wrong, and that really includes vaping with vape pens. There's just like an incorrect mindset when people approach vaping. They approach it like this: they're smoking. When you're vaping, you're not smoking. It's different. In most cases, on something you smoke, the harder you pull, the more smoke you get. Vapor, you only want to pull as hard as you need to, and it should be a longer, drawn-out process when you vape. People want that instant gratification. That's why blinkers are so popular. I do have a short on why you shouldn't hit blinkers, and I do have tons of comments on there hitting a blinker while I watch this, bro. It's mostly kids out there. I don't know. But if you're like a reasonable adult and you have at least a 3-digit IQ, you're gonna understand that blinkers are not the way. There's a way better way to get high with your pen. And if you want to hear more opinions on dabbing and why you're probably dabbing wrong, check out my video here. Have a lit day and stop doing blinkers.